Okay, hello, we're going to get started. Welcome to the first or second Stuck at Home concert, brought to you by Stanford Medicine and Medicine in the Muse and the Muse. We are really happy to bring you this concert here. We've got a great slate of performers. We really hope this concert brings you a little bit of joy and happiness in this difficult time. I know I've been just delighted to see all the amazing talent from our Stanford community come to bear, and have really loved the stories and the enthusiasm all the performers and the audience have brought. With little further ado, I will introduce Jacqueline Genovese, who has really been the driving force behind this concert. So she's going to say a few words and then we'll get to our performers. Take it away, Jackie.
Thanks. I had to unmute myself. Thanks, Brian. And on the behalf of the Department of Medicine and Medicine in the Muse, we want to welcome everyone and we're glad you're here. Also, we want to thank the performers for sharing their time and talent. This is a tough time at Stanford, in the nation, and the world, and we really believe in the strength of music and community to bring healing. And in that spirit, one of our fabulous performers from last week, Gabby Lee, the cellist and wonderful Stanford student, she wants to spread the word about this concert to nursing homes. So if you work at a nursing home or have a relative at a nursing home or a contact, if you could contact Gabby, and I'm going to put her email in the chat. And then speaking of the chat, I apologize for people that I couldn't answer their questions last week. The chat was coming fast and furious. So if you could put your question in the question section, it'll be easier for me to see, and then I'll be able to answer you. And with that, I'd like to turn it back to Bryant, who I say is rivals Ryan Seacrest for his hosting capabilities.
No pressure, right? If it were the radio, maybe I'd agree with the voice, but I got a radio face as well, so unfortunately. Well, with that, really thanks to Jackie. And Jackie, as I mentioned last time, a shout out to her grandson who's watching from all the way in the East Coast. She sent me this cute, adorable video of him trying to talk to Jackie. So he can't talk to Jackie, but you guys can talk to Jackie and the rest of the performers. So please use the chat function, type your comments, and people seem to enjoy us picking a few comments to read after each performance. So really send your applause. They can't hear you, but they can see your comments. And this all gets saved and recorded later, so the performers can really, you should please show your appreciation. With that being said, we've got a bigger program today. I'm going to introduce a repeat performer, Matthias Bruzoni, and Raji Kapolu. They are going to sing a medley of I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen and a Walk Away Joe by Trisha Yearwood. Matthias is a pediatric surgeon, and he, as you know from last week, leads or is part of a band called the Midnight Rounds. And Raji is part of that band as well, and she's a nurse practitioner with pediatric general surgery and a manager of advanced practice. I'm going to, and you'll have to be patient with me because I've got to manage all the spotlights and so forth. As we did last week, I'm going to ask a few questions before we get started, but Matthias and Raji, in this time of kind of difficult trouble and challenges, has anything unexpected come out from being in quarantine and being stuck at home? Has anything kind of surprising you said, geez, like for example, this has been surprising to me, but has anything surprised you about this challenging time we're in?
Well, I think it's been really refreshing and wonderful to reconnect with a lot of really good friends and family from around the country and just kind of experience this together. And that's been kind of really nice, and been really nice to reconnect with people that I hadn't spoken to in a while and get through it together. Perfect.
And Matthias, any words?
Well, I can tell you my kids definitely enjoy being at home. So I think it's we're going to remember this for the rest of our lives, and our kids will remember it too. It's such a profound impact. But I think music is a good excuse. You know, we've been playing more music, at least by ourselves, because we can't do any sports or do much from work. So I think it's just a good vent for us too.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Mama told her baby girl, take it real slow. Girl told her mama, hey, I really gotta go. He's waiting in the car. Mama said, girl, you won't get far. Dust are the dreams of an average Jane, 90 miles an hour down a lover's lane, on a tank of dreams. Oh, if she could have only seen that fate's got cards that it don't want to show. That boy's just a walk-away dream, born to be a leaver, tell you from the word go, destined to deceive, but he's the wrong kind of paradise. She's gonna know it in a matter of time. That boy's just a walk-away dream. Just a little while into Abilene, he pulls into a station and he rubs it clean. She's waiting in the car underneath a Texaco star. She only wanna love, didn't bargain for this. She can't help but love him for the way he is. He's only 17. There ain't no reasoning, for the cold hard truth revealed what it had. That boy's just a walk-away dream, born to be a leader, tell you from the word go, destined to deceive, but he's the wrong kind of paradise. She's gonna know it in a matter of time. That boy's just a walk-away dream. Somewhere in a roadside motel room, alone in the silence, she wakes up too soon and reaches for his arms. She'll just keep reaching on, for the cold hard truth revealed what it had. That boy's just a walk-away dream, born to be a leaver, tell you from the word go, destined to deceive, but he's the wrong kind of paradise. But it was just another lesson in life. That boy's just a walk-away dream, born to be a leaver, tell you from the word go, destined to deceive, but he's the wrong kind of paradise. She's gonna know it in a matter of time. That boy's just a walk-away dream. Oh, walk-away dream. Oh, walk-away.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone now? I got a bad design. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? Can he do to you the things that I do now? I can take you high. Oh, I'm on fire. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, maybe edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul. And now I wake up with the sheets soaking wet. There's a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Sometimes it's like a head and edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul. And now I wake up with the sheets soaking wet. There's a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cool my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Hey little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? I got a bad design. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? Can he do to the things that I do now? I can take you high. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, that was incredible. The performance was amazing. When are you guys, how often do you normally have the midnight rounds? How often do you normally perform?
We would try and perform at least once a week and try and do at least one show a month. We miss our colleagues dearly, John Palma, Yasser El-Sayed, James Wall, Dave Scheibner. So we're hoping to get together really soon to be able to perform again. It's a lot of fun.
Perfect, great, thanks so much. What a lovely, lovely performance.
Thank you.
We will, just give me a second here. I'm going to spotlight our next performer. It's Steve Goodman and his son, Eli Goodman. They will be singing Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? Steve Goodman is Associate Dean of the School of Medicine, Professor of Epidemiology and of Medicine. And if you are a sports fan, you may have heard Steve sing the national anthem for the Giants and the Golden State Warriors. And if you're an opera fan, you may have seen Steve perform in various Bay Area productions, from The Pirates of Penzance to Beethoven's Ninth. His son Eli is class of 21 at Stanford and has been a member and videographer of the Stanford Mendicants, an a cappella group, since 2017. Is this true? This is the first time you're singing together as father and son for a big audience?
I'd say that's pretty true. Yep, absolutely.
Wow. Fantastic. And, you know, anything surprising come out of, you know, this time of quarantine, shelter at home?
Well, one thing that's surprising is Eli conceded to sing with me, so that was surprising. I would say I would echo what Matthias said. We've had a lot more video connection with extended family all across the country. And that's something we could have been doing before, but we didn't do as much when we felt we could visit. And also, it's getting used to a very different way of being at home, where we occupy sort of different mental spaces while we're in the same physical space. That's hard. Both Eli and his sister, Sarah, are Stanford students, and they're going to start school soon, and we're at work at home. And that's a very complicated dynamic, to be at home and be at work at the same time. So it's something we're all getting used to, and I know that Eli and Sarah would rather be spending time with their college friends right now than with us, even though we enjoy having them around.
Great. Great. Eli, any words of things that are you surprised at yourself for performing with your dad?
A little bit, but it's been fun. I've enjoyed the prep, and I'm excited.
Perfect. Take it away, please.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to say something about this song. It's a song many people have heard of, Brother, Can You Spare a Dime, but they don't know the background. The background's very interesting. It was composed by a guy named Yip Harburg, who's really one of the America's great songwriters, but not that well known. And he's actually most famous, not for this song, but for composing all the songs and much of the dialogue of The Wizard of Oz, which actually it's a perfect bookend because we're going to hear Somewhere Over the Rainbow at the end, and he wrote that song too. He was very political. He was sort of the Bernie Sanders songwriter of his time. He wrote this right in the middle of the Depression, and it was a very biting song, an attack on the betrayal he saw of the working man and of veterans. And you'll hear that. And it was such a powerful, it was sung in a musical, and it became such a powerful anthem for FDR in the campaign that they tried to ban it from the radio and from music halls because Hoover didn't like it. It became an anthem then for the Depression and for the workers and the unemployed who were left behind. In some ways a sad a commentary at that time, but in some ways sort of appropriate for this time as well. So that's the background of the song. In terms of the structure, many people have probably heard it. What you may have not noticed is it's a man who's begging for money, and it gets more and more personal. He starts with, "Brother, can you spare a dime?" But you'll hear at the end, he talks about, "Buddy, can you spare a dime?" He gets more and more in your face. And that's it, and here we go. Give this a try. Oh, and the virtual accompanist is Russell Norman, who sent me from afar a recording, an iPhone recording of the accompaniment. I've sung it many times with him, never quite like this, and you'll hear it from speakers. They used to tell me I was building a dream, and so I followed the mob. When there was earth to plow or guns to bear, I was always there, right there on the job. They used to tell me I was building a dream, with peace and glory ahead. Why should I be standing in line, just waiting for bread?
Once I built a railroad, made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime?
Once I built a tower to the sun, brick and rivet and lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we look swell, full of that Yankee doodle-dee-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell. I was the kid with the drum. Say, don't you remember, they called me Al. It was Al all the time. Say, don't you remember, I'm your pal. Buddy, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we looked swell, full of that Yankee doodle-dee-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell.
I was the kid with the drum. Say, don't you remember? They called me Al. It was Al all the time. Say, don't you remember? I'm your pal. Buddy, can you spare a dime?
Fantastic. Amazing. Amazing. You guys should go on the road.
Thank you so much.
I wish they'd let us out on the road.
Maybe he can be an honorary member of the Mendicants.
Me, I don't think.
Perhaps.
I'm not good enough. Everybody should go and listen to their YouTube channel if you want to hear great singing.
Okay, so there you go. There's a plug. Listen to the YouTube channel for the Mendicants. Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Next
having us.
up,
Thank you.
Give me 1 second here. We have Anita Honiken. She's playing the flute, Sonat al-Mol by C.P.E. Bach, the first 2 movements. Anita is in the Division of Pediatric Anesthesia and the Department of Anesthesiology, Perioperative and Pain Medicine at Stanford. She has been playing the flute and piano since the age of 10, with several breaks over the years.
I won't say how old I am now.
I'm sorry?
I won't say how old I am now.
You've only been paying for like 15 years, right? So
That's it.
she played with her high school band groups, and I'm going to bug you with the same question. Anything surprising come out of this time of quarantine?
Gosh, I'm surprised that I'm getting antsy and don't want to be in the house as much as I usually do. You know, it's kind of fun.
You're a homebody. You thought you were a homebody, but realized that you're not
Yeah.
as much a homebody as you thought you were.
Yeah. I miss getting out and being around other people a lot. The dogs love it. I've got 2 small dogs, and they think it's great to have everybody around. I've got 3 of my daughters living with me, so that's a lot of fun. We've had some good games of Scrabble, and we learned how to play Texas Drum or something, a poker game the other night, and we used
Texas
Dub
Drum,
Pop as our tip.
Texas
A lot
Hold'em.
of fun. Texas Hold'em, that's
Texas
it. Yeah, so we've been having some fun.
So you're poor now? Is that why? Did they take all your money?
No, we use chocolate candies as our chips.
So you're healthy because they won all the chocolate candies.
Yep, they did. So yeah, I definitely wasn't the winner on that one. But yeah, so the piece I'm going to play, I love Baroque music, and this is sort of, C.P.E. Bach was the son of Johann Sebastian Bach, and he sort of was transitioning from Baroque into classical period. So there's a little more emotion in this than a lot of traditional Baroque music. And I just read on Wikipedia, I didn't realize this, he was the godson of Telemann, who was one of my favorite composers for flute. So it's kind of fun. It makes sense that I like this piece too. It's not as obviously modern as the songs you've been listening to, but I hope you enjoy it.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks for listening. I've not been playing my flute all that much lately, so please forgive any bad notes.
Fantastic.
A little flub at the end there. Sorry about that.
Fantastic. I'm just, I'm amazed at, I'm brave enough to do MC, but not brave enough to perform. So
Oh.
I applaud you. Couple of comments. Anita is also an incredible anesthesiologist and mentor. So many talents.
Hidden
Beautiful,
talent.
Anita. So nice to hear you play. Amazing, Anita. Very impressive. I'm so impressed. So glad you're sharing your gift with us. Fantastic.
Thank you, everybody.
Great. Perfect. So give me 1 second to switch. We will have, takes a second to switch the spotlight. There we go. We have next Alyssa Burgart playing the guitar and singing Easy Now by Joan Shelley. She's a pediatric anesthesiologist at Stanford Children's and an ethicist with Stanford Center for Biomedical Ethics. She says she can only speak for herself, but she will sing for anyone. I like that. That's wonderful. So anything surprising that's come out of this time in quarantine?
I think much like Matthias said, my kids are thrilled that I'm home as much as I am. My son in particular, he loves cuddles and just, he pops in every now and then just, for a hug. I like that.
Great. He didn't want to join you in the room today?
He was behind me a few minutes ago, and I noticed they don't like to be on the internet and they don't like to be videotaped. So I notified him that if he did not want to be seen, he did have to move.
Please take it away.
All right, thanks so much. Easy now, it's almost over. Fever will run out. Now the nights are colder. Who will lift your face to see how the stars shine brighter when you're lonely? The rains came down, ran across the river. Sweet the sound and the scent familiar. You pulled the clothes from the line and came in. You were needed at my side. In the open, my heart beats loudly. We're not broken, no, we just are free again. Easy now, it's almost over. To the friends who stuck around, go on, hold them closer. The ones who watched you wander out on the rocks when the light of day was fading. In the open, our hearts beat loudly. We're not broken, no, we just are free again. Easy now, it's almost over.
Fantastic. Amazing.
Thank you.
You are, I'm going to read a few of these comments. Alyssa, you are too much. This is awesome. Show us your Dolly Parton t-shirt. Is that true? You have a Dolly Parton t-shirt?
I did tell Laurel Braitman I would wear a special shirt today. And also my friend Virginia, I know she's listening in, and I sent her one of these. It says, "What would Dolly do?"
What would Dolly do?
And Dolly would perform.
Fantastic.
So for all of you out there listening who, are looking for a gig, reach out to Jackie. She'll put you on, next week.
Have you been to Dollywood? I grew up in Tennessee. I've been to Dollywood, so.
I have not been. I've spent a lot of time in Tennessee over the years, but unfortunately, I've not been to Dollywood yet.
Oh, you got to go there and, pay your respects, right? Other comments, you have such a beautiful voice, Alyssa. Karaoke night's coming again.
I bet that's from Anita.
And a perfect song for this time.
All right,
Great.
thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.
Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight.
Great. Okay, so give me one technical second to spotlight Laurel. Hang on one second here. Perfect. Laurel. So Laurel Braitman will be reading the poem The Weighing by Jane Hirschfield. Laurel is the Director of Writing and Storytelling for the Medicine in the Muse program. She is the author of 2 books, Animal Madness and House of the Heart, to be released this spring. Laurel is leading virtual reflective writing workshops every Saturday during this shelter in place for all healthcare professionals and their loved ones. So please reach out to Laurel if you want to join in. To register, please visit writingmedicine.org, and Jacqueline will also, if you have any trouble, ask Jacqueline, and she will point you to the address. So welcome, Laurel, and thanks for joining us. Of course, you have to answer the question everybody else is answering. What has surprised you during this time?
You'd think I'd have a good answer because I've heard so many eloquent, gorgeously talented people answer this already. But, it's similar. It's the surprise of connection, actually, that the social distancing just actually has made me reach out to those that are close to me and far away from me so much. And also how much we're turning to the arts. I think those of us who may not have some of us, don't have creative careers, and then something terrible happens, and the first place we go is to music and poetry and creative prayer and the arts. And so I'm just really grateful to be here and that you all are making this space for us. It feels so good. So thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming here.
I'm going to share one of my favorite poems. It was actually sent to me a couple of weeks ago by a dear friend. Her name's Maria Popova. She runs the site brainpickings.org, which I really recommend. It's by Jane Hirschfield, and it's called The Weighing. The heart's reasons seen clearly. Even the hardest will carry its whip marks and sadness and must be forgiven. As the drought-starved eland forgives the drought-starved lion who finally takes her, enters willingly, then the life she cannot refuse, and is lion, is fed, and does not remember the other. So few grains of happiness measured against all the dark, and still the scales balance. The world asks of us only the strength we have, and we give it. Then it asks more, and we give it. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Perfect, thanks for sharing that. That was wonderful. I think, there's a big thank you, Laurel, from one of the comments. So amazing. I know the poems are shorter, so it's harder. It's not enough time for people to write in comments, but thank you for that. I'm one of those people who wasn't normally, I didn't think of myself as a creative person, but I've definitely sought refuge in the arts during this time. So I appreciate that. So next up is Han Zhu. Hang on one second here.
Hello.
Hi. So Han will be playing the piano and singing Perfect by Ed Sheeran. And Han is a cardiology fellow interested in heart failure, cardio oncology, and cardiac inflammation. She also, realized, of course, having a poor memory, was one of our residents in medicine. And also she went to MIT. Did you sing at MIT, or is this something you picked up later?
I've always enjoyed music, but yeah, depends on your definition of singing.
My definition is being able to sing in front of 479 people.
That would be the first time today.
No pressure. And same question to you. Has anything surprised you during this time what was unexpected?
Yeah, I think kind of like what everyone else has been saying about, you know, it's amazing how we can stay connected, you know, despite geographic barriers. And if anything, we're communicating more now with our friends and loved ones. And so I think that's been, you know, that's been surprising, but in a good way. And then, yeah, and then, you know, music has always been important to me my whole life. So being able to share this, you know, in this kind of format is very special. Yeah, and I chose this song, Perfect by Ed Sheeran, because I think it's a really positive song and gives warm feelings, and, you know, we need that positivity, so.
Great. Perfect. Well, take it away.
Great. I found a love for me, darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a good, beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me, 'cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time, darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. And baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, you heard it, darling, you look perfect tonight. I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. And I found the love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. And we were still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time, darling, just hold my hand. My girl, I'll be your man. I see my future in your eyes. And baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When I saw you in the dress, looking so beautiful, I don't deserve this, darling, you look perfect tonight. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. I have faith in what I see. Now I know I have met an angel in person, and she looks perfect. I don't deserve this, darling, you look perfect tonight. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was great. A few comments. Makes my heart lighter to listen to your playing and singing. Lovely song. Thank you. Beautiful. And red is a great color for you. And last comment, gorgeous. So thank you so much for that. Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so give me a second to. So next we have Dan Lee. She will be playing the guqin, 7-string zither without bridges, a classical Chinese instrument with more than 3,000 years of history. Confucius was a great master of this instrument. I did not know that. Dan Lee will be playing The Drunken Man by Ron Ji. Dan is a postdoctoral fellow in pediatrics and pediatric cardiology and is conducting research on metabolism, regulating gene changes in pulmonary arterial hypertension. Welcome, Dan. When did you start learning the guqin?
Since my college.
Wow, wow. So is that considered a late time to learn I assume this is in China, or?
Yeah, it's really a late time, but it is an instrument that can be learned from any ages. So start from teenager to mature or any ages who like that and who enjoy that.
That's inspiring for me. I can actually maybe start to learn this guitar I have over here. Anything surprise you during this time that we're stuck at home?
Yeah, so even though we have this social physical distance, but I think we are connected to each other by the internet and by the virtual meetings. So I really feel appreciation every day. So I really thank all the workers and in the frontline healthcare and also who are working to ensure our daily supplies and utilities and the securities that I never thought before. So I hope that the people who are living alone or who are suffering from this virus could feel better and get recovered soon. I really want to see my friend. She's living in the senior living. We haven't seen each other for a month. So I hope that after this quarantine, I can hug her and give her a kiss.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. There are people who are in nursing homes all across the country who can't accept visitors at this time, and it's definitely a challenging time for all of us. So please, take it away. Great. Fantastic. That's amazing. I mean, I wish, you know, Zoom has been a wonderful tool now, but unfortunately the audio, it doesn't really do the instrument justice. So I think if you, I don't know, are you performing anywhere? Where can we hear this? Once this is all over, where can we hear this instrument live? Is that something you perform other places?
Yes, so for the New Year Gala for Chinese festival, I play that every year. So the year before, I played in faculty club at Stanford. So there are around 300 audience there, so they can also hear. So usually we'll play in a small audience and without audio, then we can hear the true sound from this instrument. So that will be better. So after this quarantine, so we can maybe get together to know the true sound of this.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. A couple of comments. Dan Lee, you were wonderful. And one comment, making me cry. And the slide effect is so unique and nuanced and beautiful. Great. Great. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second to move the spotlight here. Okay, Paramesh, the Gopi family, you're up.
Right.
Hi.
So Paramesh Gopi and his children, Kanchana and Shankaran, I'm sorry if I butchered your names.
No, not at all.
9 years old and 15 years old, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I know your dad forgot one of your ages by just for a second there. He's in trouble. He was like, oh yeah, she's 14. Oh no, 15.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys are stuck at home with your dad. He's a serial entrepreneur and investor affiliated with Stanford Care, also doing a project with Dr. Peter Huang from ENT. His wife, Priya, has an engineering healthcare management background, is a musician and composer. I think Priya's there in the corner. There you go. So you've raised an excellent, you can't take credit for Paramesh, but you can take credit. And the kids are trained in both Western and Indian classical music. They will sing Andra Day's Rise Up, and their dad will join them in singing an Indian healing prayer. And again, you're going to have to help me with the name. The name of the prayer. I was joking that it's the Itsy Bitsy prayer, but what is it?
It is. Just to give you some context, this was sung by a very famous Indian poet in Benares, in the north part of India, in the 17th century when they had the plague.
Wow.
And he personified universal consciousness as the god Rama. And he implores Rama. He says, I only want one thing from you. Please come and deliver us from this disease. So we figured we'd just sing it for you. And sorrow. So
very appropriate.
First let's rise up. So.
And what, you got to answer the question everyone else is answering. Has anything surprised you?
I think for me, well, I obviously am a high schooler, so I see all of my friends every day. And I think that until sort of I stopped seeing them every day and the prospect of just like not really knowing when I'm going to be able to see them in person next, I think it made me realize that I kind of took for granted the fact that I just got to spend time with wonderful people all the time. And it's really like uplifting to see that I can still sort of hold on to those relationships because we're all going through it together, and we find ways to, like, you know, watch movies online together, or, you know, just kind of still keep in touch and be together even if we can't physically be together.
Zoom is helping, right?
Yeah, and Zoom helps. Yeah.
Helps. It's a good plug for Zoom.
Yes, definitely.
Great.
Okay. Ready? Okay. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We so that we have each other, and we'll rise, we'll rise, we'll rise, we'll rise, and I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up, finally I'll rise up, and I'll rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up, rise like the waves, we'll rise up, finally I'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you,
1,000 times 20.
for you.
Oh my gosh.
Ready?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's see on the drone. Hold on, can you give us a D?
My voice.
A D? Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on.
So show us your place, Natalie.
Well, I'm going to read some comments.
There
So,
it
the sweetest kids I think I've ever seen. How good they are to each other. Very special.
Thank you.
Wonderful and adorable.
Thank
Get
you.
these kids a YouTube channel. I'm in love with these two. Great. Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
Love it.
And we can start there.
Yeah, we'll make this
Oh,
short.
awesome.
Hold on. Give me a beat. इतनी बिनती रघुनंदन से दुख द्वंद्व हमारा मिटाओगे इतनी बिनती रघुनंदन से दुख द्वंद्व हमारा मिटाओगे अपने पद पंकज पिंजर में चितहंसा हमारा बिठाओगे अपने पद पंकज पिंजर में चितहंसा हमारा बिठाओगे तुलसीदास कर जोड़ी भव सागर पार उतारो जी तुलसीदास कर जोड़ी भव सागर पार उतारो जी इतनी बिनती रघुनंदन से दुख द्वंद्व हमारा मिटाओ जी इतनी बिनती रघुनंदन से दुख द्वंद्व हमारा मिटाओ
Amazing. Amazing. That was wonderful. You guys are multi-talented. Don't become a stage parent, Paramesh. Gonna be there.
Oh, it's good to see you too. And I'm happy your place looks really great.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you all.
And thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. It's so wonderful to be a part of it.
Thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it. I'm going to move the spotlight on Jonathan. I do hear there was a little bit of background noise. If you
Yeah, I know. And since
all mute yourselves, other than whoever's performing.
There we go. See if that works out.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Jonathan is going to be playing the third movement of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, which is the unbelievably difficult movement. He is an assistant professor in the Center for Biomedical Informatics Research and Practice.
when you have to be out of the place.
Okay, we still have a background. You know, who's
Oh, right.
There we go. Okay, got somebody. He has been playing around with the piano since taking a couple of years of lessons as a kid, but it occurred to him in the past year that he could improve a lot more if he redirected even half of the hundreds of hours he spent playing video games towards practicing instead. Wow. So you must have really played a lot of video games. And was this all, come on, you got to be honest with us. Was this all within 1 year, or you were already pretty good before you increased?
I played around, but it's in the past year I started playing a lot more. When I saw my computer telling me I'd spent 100 hours playing this game and 100 hours playing that game, I was like, maybe I should use that time in another way, perhaps. And now the piano is kind of like the ultimate video game. It never ends, and there's always something else to level up and try and spend a lot of effort to get incrementally better every day.
Oh, fantastic. And this is, I mean, this is an unbelievably technically difficult piece, so very fast. So he's very.
For what it's worth, I was going to suggest a simpler, soothing piece, but I believe Miss Genovese and Dr. Lin's direction was go big or go home. And so I think this piece is arguably far more advanced than I should even be attempting, but I've actually found it very motivating in that way. I've worked on this for months, right during my grant proposal season, and feeling this effort, a small incremental effort, accumulated over lots of time, a very unique piece that Beethoven wrote in dedication to a woman he was in love with after she rejected him.
Wow.
So I hope you find this as therapeutic in hearing as I've been learning it. If you're feeling any feelings of frustration, of fury over injustice, or feeling the resolve to meet it, I hope it offers you something there.
Great. And any comments on surprising, anything that surprised you during this time, other than practicing more piano?
I'm surprised that I'm not surprised that I'm probably not qualified to be a homeschool teacher for the next 3 months, but
I don't think any of us are. I think greater appreciation for teachers now. Great. Well, take it away.
All right. Reset.
Amazing. Fantastic. Oh, what is this app? Looks like all those YouTube guys have the same app. What is that?
It's a program called Synthesia. It used to be called Piano Hero until they renamed it, and that's a major way that I learned how to play this. You can download a free song, and it plays along with you and catches you as you go. And it's a very good way to kind of catch errors as you're playing along.
Oh, great. Fantastic. I'm going to read some amazing comments. Jonathan, you're so talented. Amazing what you can do. Thank you for sharing your gift. It is definitely a gift because I don't think I could ever play like that in my lifetime. Another comment.
That's what I thought too, and I just worked on this. Magic very often is actually just someone spending way more time on something than you would reasonably expect.
Loved the peek at the camera. I think I saw a video game simulation on your computer. Fabulous, Jonathan. You're funny, another talent. Great, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And then last but not least, Tamara Dunn. One second here. So we are going to do a sing-along. So we're going to carry on the tradition that Paul Wong suggested for our last concert, and this will be the last song of the day. And but we'll show Tamara first and then switch to the lyrics. She will be singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. She's a clinical assistant professor in hematology. Is also the program director for Hematology Fellowship and co-chair of the Diversity and Inclusion Council in the Department of Medicine. She has performed in various shows in Kansas City, New York, Stanford, Palo Alto, as well as singing for Stanford graduation in a certain unnamed year, and the national anthem at a Kansas City Royals game. And while a medical student, you sang at Carnegie Hall. What was that like?
Obviously, it was amazing. It was for med school graduation. It was really special. Everything I had, dreamed about, actually. I realized it's such an honor to do so.
Is it true what they say about getting to Carnegie Hall?
Practice, right?
Yes. Is it true?
Of course.
And anything has surprised you? I'll torture you. You'll be my last torture victim for this question.
I know, and just like Laurel had said, I mean, you would think I would have something right off the bat to say. I do not, but what I will say is I'm not surprised how talented this group of people from Stanford is. And I want to just say thank you so much for having me with you guys. I think one of the most surprising things has been how healing music has been for me, even though I know how important music is. It's been so healing to sing a little bit more. And I've never been so excited to see people on Zoom meetings that you usually see all the time. And then all of a sudden you have a virtual happy hour with them and you realize that you miss the connection so much. And I'm an extrovert and a hugger and all that. So I really have missed people. But lots of great family time. Although I will say I am definitely not a homeschooler.
Your kids can't sing in multiple languages?
I will also say I've been surprised at how difficult it is to have 3 children with single-digit ages when you are home.
Well, that's like 3 full-time jobs just there. Great. Well, you will be performing, and I've already gotten a sneak peek, a lovely Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Okay.
Hopefully you can see the lyrics.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Amazing. Really amazing. Fantastic. I'm going to read a few comments here from Steve Goodman, a powerhouse singer in his own right. He said, a powerhouse singer. So fantastic. That is so hard. Well done. Amazing. And from our mutual friend, Noelle Johansson, lovely to hear your magical voice, Tam. Tamara sings me a happy birthday every year. It's a highlight of every birthday, as you can imagine. I can see the rainbow when you sing. Wow, fantastic. Great, great. And with that, I'm going to turn it in gallery mode and just thank all of our performers today. Great thanks to all of you and Jacqueline Genovese for pulling this together. This is only the second time we've done this. If you want to perform in the following weeks, please email Jackie. You can go to the Medicine of the Muse website and you can see her email there. And we are looking forward to you joining us either as a performer or as the audience in the subsequent weeks. We're going to hold this every week until this shelter in place is over, and maybe even longer. That's what Jackie has threatened me with. She says, you're stuck with this MC gig for a long time. So I hope that's the case. And last but not least, I know we thanked all the healthcare providers out there, but I really also want to thank the other people who are making the world work. We have people, you go to the supermarket's open. You go to the gas station's open, right? So there are all these other people. I know we're kind of getting special treatment. We get, $15 free at Melt and free Crocs and Allbirds, and you can give yourself an MI with 5 dozen donuts from Krispy Kreme. But there are the people who are manning Krispy Kreme, or there are people who are running Krispy Kreme, people who are running Starbucks, and they're really making it so that we can still live our lives in a kind of bizarre but still livable manner. So really, my hat's off to all of them who really make it possible for us, the healthcare workers, to do what we do. So with that, we will sign off and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.